In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between our fixed, configurable, and account-specific Power BI templates for finance. Firstly, the important thing to understand is that the end-user functionality is the same. So if all you want to do is to explore the end-user functionality and the underlying DAX code, then the fixed template is fine for you. However, if you want to plug this into your own accounting data, then you're far better off using the configurable or account-specific templates. The reason for that is because in the fixed template, if we look at the main elements of the data model, the accounts, journals, bridge chart of accounts, and chart of accounts tables come as already transformed pre-prepared data in an Excel workbook. So it's not very adaptable to different charts of accounts and different data models. But what it does do is it gives you an excellent overview of how to create, in this particular case, an income statement and different possibilities and the DAX code underneath, and how to get this lovely interactivity. So if that's all you want, then the fixed template is fine for you. The configurable templates, however, have the advantage that you can adapt them to match your own chart of accounts because we provide all the data transformations for you. So here actually are all the transformations behind the scenes that go on to produce these three tables that we were looking at before: chart of accounts, bridge chart of accounts, and accounts. And the source data, we've got two types of source data. We've got our actuals, which in this case actually follows a Sage 50 data model, but it's very simple. All we have is the journals, the nominal ledger, which is the GL accounts, sales ledger, which is a list of customers, and the same with the suppliers and the purchase ledger. So you can see with a very, very small change, this is pretty well adaptable to any typical accounting software in terms of the source data. Then we have a folder of budgets, and this is really provided as an example of how you may want to set up budgets. And we have a folder with budgets for 2 years, so a workbook representing each year. It's there really as an example. So if you don't want to use it, you can get rid of it, but it's fairly typical of how many people work with budgets. And then the final part of the configurable template is that we've got a workbook of metadata. And this is one Excel workbook where it defines important elements that we want to configure within the report. The most important element being the chart of accounts. So here we're looking at the income statement for a chart that we call EBITDA. And here's the layout. And it's done on 3 levels. We've got the main grouping like sales, cost of goods sold, SG&A, and so on. We've got the category below that. And then we have the account level, and actually in the definition, we're defining the account ranges that make up, in the case that it's just a regular row, the numerator, or if it's a ratio, the numerator and the denominator. The important thing there is that's completely configurable and it's provided with a working example reproducing this chart of accounts. But if you want to adapt that to your own particular needs, all you need to do is edit the metadata workbook and refresh, and it'll come through. So if we have that as a configurable report, why would we want the account-specific report? Well, the account-specific report comes in because it will read, in this particular case, we're looking at Sage 50 UK, it will read the table structures from Sage 50 UK and reproduce the chart of accounts. In this case, we have the default chart of accounts that is set up in Sage 50 UK. Now, this is set up at the moment just to read the default, but you could read them all if you want. Out of the box, it's set up just to read the default. But if you understand Power Query, you'll very quickly see how you can extend that to include all of the charts of accounts. It also has the ability to include the configurable custom charts that we have in the configurable report. So the account-specific version is everything we had in the configurable, plus the ability automatically to read and reproduce what you have in your accounts software. So that's the difference. Fixed template is perfect for somebody who just wants to explore the DAX code and tables and relationships. The configurable template is a generic template, is supplied with sample data and a metadata workbook that is configurable really to any target accounting software. And then the account-specific template goes one step further and will actually read and reproduce and maintain that reproduction of the charts of accounts that you have set up in your accounting software. Now, if you're not sure which one you want, what you can do is you can buy the fixed template, and we will give you, with that fixed template, a voucher for the value that you paid for the fixed template for a month, which will offer you effectively a rebate of what you paid for this if you upgrade